Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Hakwadash. Double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have taught me this truth, who rule well, teach well with much diligence, watching over the flock. Peace, love, and salutation to the hopeful elect kings and priests who are out there bringing out this word in sincerity and in truth and hopes of salvation at Yahweh Shai's return. Likewise, Shalom unto the sisters and little ones who are also in hopes of mercy at Yahweh Shai's return. Brother, I'm Awan from the Great Millstone Branch, Los Angeles, and I'm back here through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai with another lesson this afternoon. As you can see here in opening video, I have a picture that says on the back of the man's shirt, "I fight myself daily." You know, I fight myself daily. You know, and that would be the, well, I wouldn't say that would be the name of this lesson. It's just centered around that. You know, brothers, sisters, we fight ourselves daily, man. Okay? There's a war going on within ourselves. All right? The scriptures say we fight against spiritual wickedness in all high places. You know, and our adversary, Satan, he has been given privilege from the Most High to frustrate us. He's been given privilege from the Most High to injure us. He's been given privilege by the Most High to let certain thoughts come within our mind to see if we take bait at it. You know, but seeing we have the Holy Spirit endowed from us from on high, all right, we can combat those demons. We can fight off those ailments, okay, that's constantly trying to bring us down. Because that's the condition of the battle. And I'm going to start here. And I don't intend to make this lesson long at all. I just want to focus on the inner man. You know, Akian Wak Wak. We're constantly fighting against those inner demons, those inner thoughts, okay, that constantly plague our mind. Because Satan desires to sift us, Akian Wak Wak. He puts certain things on our mind. He makes us try to do certain things. But it's up to you to be in the spirit to fight off those thoughts, okay? Because these are the things that defile us. It's not what's in us that defile us, because we're filthy by nature, as King David said, and sin was our fashion. But what comes out, that's what defiles you. So I'm gonna start here in Mark 7:14, and Lord willing, this video is edifying. It says, and when he had called all the people, Mark 7:14, and when he had called all the people unto him, he said unto them, Hearken unto me, every one of you, and understand. There is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him. But the things which come out of him, those are they that defile the man. And there are many things that come within us. Like I said, we're fighting a spiritual warfare. We're not fighting carnally. We're not fighting the brother next to us. Okay? It's about the inner thoughts, because it starts with the mind. Okay? Satan, our adversary Satan, all right, in a fourth dimension, right? He's putting certain things in our mind, right, to make you bait. And Yahweh Shah is going to break down what those things are that defile a man. Because although they come from the outer, all right, and they come inner, they don't defile you unless they come out. Verse 16, if any man have ears to hear, let him understand. I mean, Salakia, that's what it means to hear. All right, if you got ears to hear, all right, meaning you have ears to understand. Verse 17, and when he was entered into the house from the people, his disciples asked him concerning the parable. And he saith unto them, Are you so without understanding also? Do ye not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entereth into the man, it cannot defile him? Because it entereth not into his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out into the draught, purging all meats. Right. Because these things that come, these certain evil thoughts, and these thoughts that just come out of nowhere, they're not entering into your heart, as in to say you're not grasping at those thoughts. Okay, you're not leaning on towards it. Okay, But those things go into the belly. And Yahweh Shai is saying it symbolically. He's using an allegory as if when you're eating food, you take in what's good of it, but you let go of the waste. And that's the same thing when certain thoughts and things come up past you. Brothers may say something or whatever, or just in your daily life or whatever. You have to discern, okay, what it is, whether it's good or whether it's evil, whether you're going to take the bait or not take the bait. It says, and he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man. For from within, out of the heart of man, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornication, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. Everything that we just read, these are the things that defile a man. All right, because we can't make our heart clean. Let me get that real quick in Proverbs. What's that? Proverbs 24. Who could say I have made my heart clean? I'm pure from my sin. Let me see. Because nobody can. This is Proverbs 20:9. Who can say I have made my heart clean? I am pure from my sin. Nobody can say that. All right, because we've been fashioned in these chains of darkness, in this sinful flesh. As I tried to say earlier, King David said, I was fashioning in iniquity and in sin did my mother conceive me. Okay, now it's what comes out of you that's what defiles you. Okay, and many of us have fell victim, to this. Have been guilty. Certain things come upon you. May think it and you may think it's right and come out to be wrong, all because of a suspicion. And that's what the flesh will have you to lean towards: suspicion, evil suspicion. And that's what Satan desires to put on you. Hey man, this brother saying this, or your woman acting like this towards you. Hey, this dude at the job, he doing this, and it ain't even that. It's just yourself, man. You're fighting yourself, man. Okay, these are the things that come out of the man and defile him. Okay, let's read that again. Mark 7 and 21. It says, for from within, out of the heart of man, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornication, murders. Brothers, we can't stop this until Yahweh Shai comes and make a change, man. We can't stop or tell our mind to stop thinking these things. It's just gonna think it. But it's up to you to walk in the spirit to conquer the flesh, man. Okay, and this is the whole condition of the battle. Okay, how you deal with your brother in this truth, man. The point of us being called is to show an example unto the world to be light. Okay, as far as my understanding goes, as far as I've been enlightened into this thing, because we've been walking in darkness our whole life, man. Okay, but now Yahweh Shai has turned our lights on, man. And now we see, now we're the children of the light. But how is it that we're the children of the light? But our works are declaring works of darkness, man. You got an evil eye towards your brother. You're not doing your brotherly duties, man. You're not loving the Most High with all your heart and your soul. You're not praying. You're not fasting. You ain't trying to do the work. You ain't trying to do your videos. You just slowly slipping in the darkness, man. Slipping in the darkness. You don't want to slip in the darkness, man. Okay? This is Sirach 31 and 13. It says, remember that a wicked eye is an evil thing, and what is created more wicked than an eye? Therefore it weepeth upon every occasion. And we just read that. That's one of the manifestations of the flesh. Okay, that defiles a man. A wicked eye, man. And all of us, we've been implanted with that going back to Adam, man. We can't control it. But that's why Yahweh Shai came okay, and gave us the Holy Spirit to conquer the flesh, man. Okay, and we're gonna read some of the deeds of the spirit and of the flesh. Let's get that real quick. You know, this is Galatians 5:16. It says I'm gonna start at 13. Galatians 5:13. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but that's the intention of the video, just flowing in the spirit. Galatians 5:13. For brethren, you have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. Right. Just because you've been called in this thing, don't use your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness. Okay? Constantly walk in the spirit. You know, conquer those old fleshly ways by doing what how the spirit will have you to operate. Because we're all new creatures now. You know, in a reborn process, you're gonna have, before a child begins to walk, he's gonna crawl, he's gonna bump his toe, he gotta learn how to walk, so he's gonna have stumbles. But you gotta perfect holiness in the fear of the Lord, not constantly pleasing the old man. You gotta crucify that dude, man. Verse 14, for all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Because if you love your neighbor as yourself, it's gonna trickle down to the whole law. You're gonna keep the Sabbath. You're gonna not eat pork and that of the sort. But just by loving the Most High and thy neighbor as thyself, you're gonna do that You're gonna do that right away. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one another. Verse 16, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. Right. You know, sometimes, you know, you might have a disagreement with your brother, okay, but for the sake of just leaving the argument alone, you may feel within yourself you have to say something to get your point across. Well, that's walking in the flesh. That's a sensual spirit, instead of letting the Most High just deal. Okay? And we have all been in this situation. To whom the shoe fits, wear it. You know? But you learn from those things. It says, and these are contrary to one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that ye would. Right? Because you're going to constantly be fighting against the flesh. Same thing with the flesh warring against the spirit. The flesh don't want you to do the things that the spirit is telling you to do. Okay? Same thing goes for the spirit, man. The spirit is telling you what to do. What the flesh is telling you contrary, man. And it's a constant war. To be righteous, man, in this society, in these chains of darkness, it's a war, man. Verse 18, but if ye be led of the Spirit, you are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, right? Adultery, sleeping with another man's wife, okay? Fornication, okay? Worshiping other gods, uncleanness, lasciviousness, unbridled lust, idolatry, okay? Witchcraft, okay? Hatred, variance, differences, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like. These are all the things of the flesh that brothers is warned against. Each and every brother is fighting these things because you know why? At one time, we were living these things. We were adulterers. We were thieves. We was out there fighting. We was out there performing sorcery. We was out there, you know, just being a drunkard, being a madman. But now we're in a whole nother fashion, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. So if you proclaim to be in the spirit, in the body of Yahweh Shai, but if you're still doing these things, okay, you gotta point that, you gotta correct yourself. You gotta check yourself or you wreck yourself, man, as the Lord is showing grace in these times. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, because we all constantly chipping at these things, constantly trying to keep that flesh crucified, because it's a day in and day out battle. It don't just stop Okay, the fighting just don't stop. Satan don't sleep. He don't take no coffee breaks. He don't snooze. He don't have no snooze button, man. He don't take time off, man. Neither should you. All right? Verse 22, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, right? Joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Okay? Love. Love. What is love? Keeping the Most High's commandments. Okay? Loving the Most High with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and strength. This is how you conquer the flesh, man. If you knew the Most High, if the Most High say, love thy neighbor as thyself, you're not going to hate your neighbor. Okay? Hating your neighbor is a thing of the flesh, but loving your neighbor is a thing of the spirit. Joy, peace, long-suffering, temperance. You're going to have self-control. You're going to be a good brother. You're going to learn how to be patient, peaceful with one another. Have your speech seasoned with salt. Verse 24, and they that are Yahweh Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. See, you put it to death, man. Let's look up that word crucified. And when these things come upon you, that old ninja, you got to remember you crucified that man when you came in his steam. And you got to keep him buried. Don't try to resurrect him. Keep that nigga in the grave, man. You know, don't try to resurrect that dude, man. Because you remember what that brought forth. Scriptures say for the wages of sin is death. It says from the Greek G4716, it says to stake down, drive down stakes, to fortify with driven stakes, to palisade, to crucify one. Metaphor, to crucify the flesh, destroy its power utterly. The nature of the figure implying that the destruction is attended with intense pain. Okay? So this is how you crucify the flesh, man. Okay? By conquering with the spirit, man. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. Okay? Don't be envying, oh, this brother got this. Nah, look what you got. You know? So let us walk in the spirit and we ain't going to fulfill the lust of the flesh. You know? Last one here in James. This is James 4:1. For whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust at war in your members? Right. Because your lustly desires is of the flesh. Things that I'll say it more correctly. The things that the flesh is lusting after. All right, this is what you're making war against. Okay, using the spirit. All right, you find that old dude. All you brothers know what I'm saying. The works that the old flesh used to bring about, man. You're fighting that old dude. The things you used to do in the world, you're fighting that. Because at one time you were an enemy in your mind by wicked works. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Here it is, the audio about Shemi Shai. This is Colossians 1:21. It says, and you that were sometimes alienated, meaning separated, and enemies in your mind by wicked works, yet now have he reconciled in the body of his flesh through death, to present you holy and unblameable, unreprovable in his sight. Okay? So at one time we were enemies in our own mind by wicked works. We were all in the flesh. But let alone, we didn't know that was doing those things, we were an enemy unto our own self. We were trouble in our own house. Okay? We were trouble in our own house by wicked works. But Yahweh Shai, he did away with that. By him dying and us receiving the Spirit, now we able to conquer that, man. That's why he told the scribes and Pharisees, all manner of sin and blasphemy can be forgiven, but said blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, because what the Holy Spirit is going to do is going to rid out that inner ninja inside of you, man. Okay? So let's go back to James. Finishing up James 4:1. For whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members. Ye lust and have not. Ye kill and desire to have and cannot obtain. Right? You try to get your point across by walking in the flesh. You're not gonna get it, man. You're not gonna get your point across by walking in the flesh. Ye fight and war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not. Instead of you just praying for it, right? You may have a strife or whatever with brothers or however it may be. Instead of you praying for it, you fighting for it, man. When it's better for you to just ask in prayer to let the situation be at ease. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your own lust. Right? You ask, but when you do go to ask the Most High, you ask Him according to your own warfare, to work in your own favor, not knowing that the Most High's will is supposed to be. You're supposed to be lining up yourself with the Most High's will. Okay. So yeah, brothers, I just really wanted to just speak on that, man, because hey, man, it's a fight, it's a war for our minds, man. You know, Esau, all right, the spiritual demon Satan, he's looking to govern our minds still, but forget that, man. Yahweh Shai is governing our minds. He's the one that's in the inner man, working that which is well pleasing in the Most High sight now. Okay. Don't let it be the other way around, letting Satan work in you that which is displeasing in the Most High sight. You see? But call Allah Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Akakwadash. Until the next one, I say Shalom.